And Obro gave me an opportunity of speaking on this occasion. I prepared a typical graduation speech, which went something like this. Ribu, it is the bittersweet affair. You are excited and you have reached a milestone, etc., etc. Project somehow happened to see the hard copy on the table and ripped it apart and had the comments. Baba, don't bore people with the standard speeches and advice. We get to hear this all the time. You know, you're going to be eating in everyone's lunchtime. So try to make a difference. This rattled my brain a little. And I got thinking. I dug into the pictures, albums, and went down the memory. From Taipei to Las Vegas, from Puerto Rico to New York, Filios, soccer. The more I thought, the more I realized that Ribu is not just an ordinary teenager. We as parents spend most of our time guiding and imparting moral values to our children. But when I think of Ribu, there are several things that we can learn from him. So I thought of changing this to being Ribu. My first memories of Ribu is the day that he came along with us to the Alpharetta Food Festival. Adi was a newborn baby, so Joita had to stay home, and Abra as usual was traveling. So Ribu came along with us, and both Ribu and Proji had lots of fun over there. And I'm sorry. So Ribu and Rohit had lots of fun over there. And soon they grew up to like each other, play together, and they became inseparable twins. This little boy has come a long way. And today, he is a real charmer. He has no inhibitions about speaking with strangers. He can make friends very easily. And his innocent and sincere communication is always full of hope. He is always also the life of the party and a natural mover and shaker. Very admirable qualities indeed. During the elementary school days, I had to drop Ribu and Roji to school. I would wait for every morning to see his smiling face and tossed up hair, and in his own dream world, walk out of the door and join me and Broji to go to school. Hearing his childish talks and his discussions with Broji relaxed me completely. Those 5 minutes of driving took away all the stress in my life. One day, I remember, he got inside the car and his first statement to Broji was, "You know, my mom is a real terror." The words had me burst out in laughter. Ribu, I'm sure you realize that all that terrorism was for your own good and has helped you mature to a better individual. Yes, Ribu's smile made my day. If James Bond is a man with a golden gun, then Ribu is a teen with a golden heart. All children love their toys. They do not want to share their new toys most of the time. But with Ribu, it was totally different. He was not possessive at all about his toys, and from a very young age, he believed in sharing. And he would share his brand new toys, and at times, Adi and Broji would play with his new games while Ribu watched. But at the same time, he enjoyed every moment of the game. This is a quality which runs in the family. And he has inherited this kind-hearted and generous, from his kind-hearted and generous parents, who are more than a family to us. So give it up for him. Ribu's generosity has also caused him a few demands and heartburns for his parents, like losing the original FIFA soccer ball. But it has not changed Ribu. He remains the teen with the golden heart. Ribu developed some unique hobbies and interests which were different from most of the other kids. He became obsessed with his hobbies and had deep focus in mastering them. Two of the examples are poker and his culinary expertise. He would spend hours studying, researching, watching, developing the skills. We often observe Rebu glued to his poker or watching Bobby play on TV or experimenting with new recipes when kids of his age were playing video games. He refused to be rushed, always took his time, but he mastered the art. Incidentally, he was also in the Chattahoochee debate at soccer teams. A recent example of his dedication and focus was on his last visit to Calcutta this year. He decided to learn Bengali on his own. So he focused on watching the Bengali TV programs, as you heard, practiced Bengali with us on FaceTime, and also made it a point to see a Bangla Natak. That's the theatre. All of you today would have an opportunity, of course, to speak with him in Bengali and check out his Bengali skills. We all go to restaurants to enjoy food, but Rebu would go to the restaurant to meet the chef. I yet remember it was, I think, year 2008. Obro was on a project in Nashville. So both of our families, we decided to go and spend a weekend with Obro in his hotel in Nashville. On going to Nashville and reaching his hotel, Rebu was amazed by seeing the hotel incidentally, and his first statement to Obro was, "Mama, you actually work here? And what a great place to work at, right?" And the next thing, you remember what you did next? Next thing, he rushed to the kitchen, met the chef, and tried convincing him to give him a job in the kitchen. Right? That's what it is. Okay. Once, I remember I told him that I was yet to taste his culinary skills. If I recall correctly, Rebu, it was about 10 years back. He immediately got on to that and invited me to breakfast the next morning. He took all the pains to ask me what I would like to eat, how I wanted the food prepared, and also gave me a reminder call in the morning to ensure that I was on time. When I stepped in, he was in his chef's attire, refusing his dad's helping hand, and the table was neatly arranged. There was a menu listing all the items available, and of course, a delicious breakfast of toast, eggs, and coffee. He has his father as his guru, but with his experimental cooking and creativity, one day he will surpass the guru. True example of unique hobbies, sincerity, and dedication. In life, there are small actions and small observations and behaviors which shows a person's true self. There have been several occasions when I have come back with groceries and bumped into Rebu on the driveway. After his normal, usual greetings, his first thing would be, "Babu, can I help you? Should I take the groceries inside? Or which way can I help you?" It did not matter. Sorry. On another occasion, I saw Rebu carrying a friend's shoes. No, it did not matter to Rebu because his friend needed help and he had no inhibitions in helping anyone. So these are some of the great qualities that we see in Rebu. Proud of you, Rebu. Rebu is a natural athlete, as you all know, and he enjoys sports, soccer, cricket, and golf, to name a few. It was a delight to drive Rebu and Broji on several occasions to soccer games, watch them play, shout ourselves goals, celebrate victories, and also collect trophies and analyze the losses. Obro and Joita, you have been blessed with a son who has not only excelled in academics, debates, sports, and in extracurricular activities, but has several qualities which are rare to find in today's world. And Adi, you have a big brother to look up to. Next. Rebu, we are lucky to have you amongst us today. You have taught us so many things which we forget with our daily activities and busy schedules. Small actions which go a big way. Wish you all the success, Ribu. We'll miss you. Sorry, there's one more point to make. One more point to make. As I said earlier, Ribu is a dreamer and also a forgetful person at times. You remember? You served me breakfast and that was 10 years back. It is up time that you invite me to the next breakfast. And let's do that before we leave for another. Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Alright, the next person I'm gonna give a speech. It's a little weird, but I have to say that he's living like a brother to Ribu. He's known him longer than me, actually. And when I say he's weird, like, they can just make beats in the car and just laugh. Just make random noises. And just laugh at it. Yeah, so this person's pretty.
Okay, so before I start, I just want to say, apparently today is National Friendship Day, so Ribu, happy Friendship Day, bro. All y'all, happy Friendship Day. To all the Machis and uncles here, happy Friendship Day, you've always been there for me. So yeah, so the story of me and Ribu starts like 15 years ago maybe. I was on my way to go to my neighbor's house to like play outside or whatever, and then my dad comes outside and he goes, "No, you're making a new friend today." And I was like, "What? Why?" He's like, "No, get in the car." So I got in the car. We drive like 30 seconds to this house that's right next to us, and we walk in. And I was just like, okay, where am I? Who is this guy? What's going on? So I walk in, right? I see Obergaku on the left. I see Ribu sitting down with like a bunch of Hot Wheels. And this was when I was like 3 or 4 years old, so I was super shy at this time. Like, I don't know if all the uncles and aunties here remember, I would not leave my dad's like fully. I would just stay in his lap the entire time. So yeah, so I walked into the house, and then Ribu was there. He was trying to get me to play, and like he was trying to get me out of my dad's lap. I just wouldn't go. But then eventually, he shared with me that he has something called a GameCube. Now, before we had like Xboxes and PlayStations, this GameCube, that was like the video game system. So I saw this, and I was just like shocked. I was like, whoa, okay. And then suddenly, the lights started to dim. I made eye contact with Ribu. I saw a twinkle in his eye. Some music started to play in the background, and suddenly we both made eye contact and sang the same song. Okay, no, but in all seriousness though, Ribu was the first person I met in my entire life that got me to come out of my shell. That actually got me to leave my dad, and actually got me to play with him. And we had so many memories playing on that GameCube. That was like years ago, but it feels like it was just yesterday. So yeah, and then, so yeah, after that, me and Ribu started to become more tight, and then we started to like hang out a lot more, go to each other's house. And one of my best memories, this is the day that I discovered how much value Ribu was to me in my life. We were at Jetima's house. By the way, we all love Jetima. She's one of the biggest parts of our community, so thank you so much for always being there. We were at Jetima's house, and I was playing with this remote. I was just like hitting it on the ground over and over again. I don't know why I was doing that. But then my mom sees me, and then I make eye contact with my mom. She just goes, "Brody, act like a marble!" And I was like, Jesus Christ. Yo, when your mom says act like a marble, you're gone. So I was scared. That's the scariest thing. So yeah, I spoke to my mom and I was scared and I was like, shoot, I don't know what to do. But then I hear an angelic voice coming from my left. I hear someone say, "Sasuke Machi?" That wasn't Roji who was breaking the remote. That was me. I looked at Ribu. I made eye contact. The light started to dim. He's the first friend I've ever had that really just like loved me more than he loved myself, and that's crazy to me. Like we would always go to Burger King when we were young, and we'd get like those little kids meals. I would hold my toy outside the window, and I'd be like, "Yo, Ribu, I'm gonna drop my toy. I'm gonna drop it." And he'd like almost start crying. He'd go, "No, no, I don't want you to be sad. No." And I go like, "This is so funny." But now I look back and I'm like, "Wow, you hear that much like that." That's just like mind blowing me. Like I never have had a friend that says cares that much about me and just values my well-being that much. So yeah, after Adi was born, me and Ribu became like Dodge streams. Like we were inseparable. We did everything together. Me and Ribu bullied Adi together. Adi bullied us. Life was really great at this point. Middle school, elementary school, we had no worries at all. So yeah, so now obviously we're in high school. I've been dreading this day for a long time, but yeah, me and Rubu are still inseparable. Like you can ask anyone in our high school and they'll go like, yeah, if you say my name in a sentence, they're gonna think of you immediately. We're like the dynamic duo. And then whenever we're in debate class, people used to always ask me, they used to go, so what are you gonna do when Ribu leaves? And I was like, I have time. Like, I don't have to worry about that. I didn't worry about that at all. Like this entire summer I was like, okay, I'm good, everything's fine. Then suddenly it's July, then it's August, and now I'm getting a speech at this grad party. And it's going to be the first time in my life where I won't have instant access to him. He lives like 30 seconds away from me. I can walk to his house anytime. This is the first period in my life ever where I won't just be able to go to his house anytime I want. And it's really scary. It's really sad to think about that, but also at the same time, it's really heartwarming because I know that this is like the start of a new adventure for you. So even if it feels like it's the end of an era, it's really just the beginning of a new adventure. And I know we have plenty of memories to create in the future, and I know you're going to be great things in Michigan. So yeah, and we're definitely still going to talk every day. I'm going to FaceTime you every day, like I'm your parents or something, just like filming and everything. And yeah, man, Ribu, you truly are the most important person I've ever met in my entire life. I'm going to miss you so much. You're going to do great things at Ann Arbor, I know it. And I love you. And we did it. Alright, so up next we have a person who, well, okay, so when people talk about me, they usually say that I'm like a brother to Ribu. Everyone says, oh, you're like a brother to Ribu. But there's one person who's actually a brother to Ribu. So up next we have Adi, and he's going to give us a speech real quick.
Okay, so I'm not really that good at speeches, so I'll try to keep it short. First, I want to say hello everyone and welcome to Ribu's graduation party. So first off, I want to say that I will miss you from the time he's in college. I know he's been the person who has supported me and person who's been supported me and helped me the most in my whole life, even more than my mother and my father. I know he will do great in college. He will do great things in Ann Arbor. I wish him the best of luck, and I hope that he won't freeze to death on his first day. So yeah, there's that. So with Ribu gone, he'll be leaving high school and everything. He'll be going to college, and then I'll be leaving middle school and going to the same high school he left. But most importantly, he'll be leaving his room, and I'll be taking that room. Ribu also made great friends in college. He has that great personality of meeting new people, very extroverted as well, the opposite. I'm just an introvert. So yeah. I just want to say thank you, Ribu, for helping me with everything. That includes like my life problems and my school even though sometimes it didn't help. And for the last part of my speech, I would like to mention something, a funny moment that we could say. So there was one time at a party. It was me, Ribu, and Proji. None of my friends were there, right? But as Ribu and Proji usually do, they lost me out of Ribu's room. So, I tried to bang on the door, begging them to let me in. And I eventually kept banging so hard that the door opened, and the lock to his door broke. Yeah, so I was very happy that it broke, but he wasn't very happy. So yeah. Wow. Is that it? Okay, so gonna